Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to Connected Hearts visual novel. Let us continue. Entering the bridge, right? I exclaim confused. The excitement quickly dies, leaving only a feeling of disappointment. Incredible. I see a dark and empty room. Seems to have been like that for years, and more importantly, there isn't a single thing that could be of use. The computers got ruined by the water that leaks from the ceiling. Besides how obvious it was, I tried to turn them on just to make sure they didn't work. Just like suppose nothing happens. I looked down confused, feeling worthless and without an idea of what to do. I rubbed my forehead, feeling about to fall apart. No matter how many times fortune smiles to me, no matter how many things I do, I always reach a dead end. There is no hope to be found in this ship. You can't escape. Yes, you can. You always can. If you try. Maybe not if you try hard enough, but I do believe there should be a way out. No matter how much I hate it, I can't stop repeating that in my mind. I will jump from this place when I hear someone speak behind me. Instantly, I turn around, finding a small boy. My mind goes blank as I stare at him, not knowing what to say. I doubt he's real. An illusion sounds much more reasonable at this moment. But if it was, it would be the most vivid illusion I have ever had in my life. I see him breathe as he looks at me, following me with his eyes, scared at how sudden it was my move. I'm sorry? I murmured after taking a deep breath to relax. Oh, okay. Did I scare you? Yeah, and plenty. I said, forcing a friendly smile. For a moment I think about saying I'm grateful it was the monster, but quickly I changed my mind. I think it's something that is not better not to talk about. My name is Roya, what is yours? Said the boy, presenting himself casually. He didn't look very worried to be in front of a complete stranger. My name is Gary, I said as I stared at him. There's something weird on that boy. His presence alone raises too many questions. Are you the captain of the ship? No, I'm not. Just a passenger. Roy shakes his head, denying it, and then looks back into my eyes. He looks at me as I was something amazing, when I'm about the most ordinary person in the world. Why do you look so much at me? I asked myself friendly. Wait, why? I said, what? I asked friendly, with simple curiosity. Roy trembles before talking, looking down embarrassed. I'm sorry, it's just you're the first man I've seen in a long time. I blinked confused after hearing him, feeling a little sorry for him. Have you been trapped in the ship for a long time? Roy doesn't answer, but I see him nod. How long? I can't remember. When the machine stopped working, the electronic calendar was lost. Roy closes his eyes and scratches his head while he tries to think about it, but it is impossible. No, I'm sorry, but I have no idea. I know it has been a long time. That's fine, don't worry about it. After saying that, I take a breath. Breathe. Hey, how did you end up yourself in the ship, Royer? Are you part of the crew? I bet he is. Yeah, I'm the captain's helper. Okay, so he actually is. Okay, I was being sarcastic just a second ago. He said, talking as if it was something normal. But of course, a kid being the helper of the captain of such a big ship is everything but normal. The only thing I can imagine is that he is his son. I understand. I look around, confused. Where are the other crew members? Do you know what happened to them? Roger again shakes his head in denial. I know. You are the first person to see since the monster appeared. Open my eyes surprised after seeing that. Then you have seen it. Royer nods. It's because of the monster that I always remained hidden. But when I saw you, I felt like talking to you. I don't like to be alone all the time. Yeah, I understand. I'm still not sure how can a little boy survive in this ship for so long, but I'm talking about the same ship that has an human monster on board, so I guess I can be flexible with my common sense. Maybe it's the same as with Mary. Doesn't need food, doesn't need any kind of beverages. And it's possible to leave. At that moment I remember there was something more important to ask. The very reason I came here in the first place. Royer, by any chance do you know how to escape from the ship? I crouch down so we can see at each other's eyes. Or as soon as I make the question he looks away ashamed. Clearly something is bothering him. I have tried many times, but it is impossible to escape from the ship or fix it. The crew got tired of fixing the holes and instead allowed the ship to fill the water with water. As we speak, it is sinking slowly and there is nothing we can do. Are you sure about that? Royer seems about to cry when he's done talking. To be honest, it is a very hopeless situation, but there must be something we can do. After all, if the crew escaped, it's because they found a way out, right? The only other choice is that maybe the monster ate them, but it's better not to think about it. I will give them the benefit of the doubt and say they escaped. It's too soon to give up. Is there nothing we can do? It's too soon to give up, man. I mean, kid. I murmured, trying to cheer him up. I'm sure there is an answer, even if it is not obvious at first sight. Royer then shakes his head. No, there is nothing. I have thought in everything and nothing will work. It's useless. The monster will stop us. Royer, you shouldn't think of giving up so easily. After all, we have no other choices. When I talk, I don't only think what I'm saying. Instantly see how he lowers his head depressed. I hold my breath, feeling a bitter flavor in my mouth. I think it's better to change the subject. But why do you say the monster would stop us? Has he done it before? That was something that made me curious. It's not hard to imagine a monster like a problem, but it sounds like it was intentionally trying to ruin others' efforts to escape. Royer thinks about it for a couple of seconds. Every time I try to do something, it appears. That's what happened when I tried to go for the lifeboat. I understand. With the lifeboat? I said, pensive, trying to imagine it, and then an idea comes to my mind. Royer, when you say it is impossible, do you mean there is nothing left to do, or there are options but you believe the monster won't let us do anything? Somehow it was basically the same, but at the same time it is very different. There is also something else he didn't have before. My help. Eh? Exclaims Royer, confused, blinking as he looks at me. Then he looks down, thinking about it. Well, I guess I could always try to activate the rescue signal in the combination rooms. Royer said, shivering just when he finished pronouncing the last word. No, it's impossible. The place is the monster's lair. Wait a second, I think I heard that before. Oh my god. Oh my god, what a déjà vu. Hearing that makes me feel nosy. Instantly I fall asleep by feeling my throat dry. My heart stops or skips a bit. That doesn't make any sense. From the shock. It stops or it skips a bit. Which one? Even being underwater would be a better place than in the monster's lair. It's not until I mention it that I realize how he must feel. Yeah, that might be out, but that means to cross with that monster with sharp long claws. I guess it would be the same as saying it is impossible. It is meaningless to send the rescue signal if we don't live to tell it. Royer, can you think of something else? I asked, not being hopeful about it. to which he shakes his head denying it. "No, I'm sorry, Gary. Everything got destroyed or underwater." After saying that, Royer sighs, with breath full of resignation. He then sits on the floor, always looking down, feeling guilty for giving only bad news. I remain quiet as I think about it. The ship is slowly sinking and there is nothing we can do. That's the fate we accepted. But it is truly something pitiable, even pathetic. I make a face of disgust the more I think about it. It is normal to be afraid of monsters, even logical. But waiting for the ship to sink and drown, isn't that scary too? Just crossing my arms and saying I can't. I don't want that. You only have two choices, one of sure death and other with little chance of success. Shouldn't it be clear what I have to do? Royer. I called his name, seeing he renewed light in my eyes. He looks up at me, confused. Do you know where the communication room is? I instantly see him tremble with chill, incredulous at the sound of my words. He was quiet for a few seconds, as if he was thinking he heard me wrong. Didn't you hear me? The monster will eat you. It's not worth to try it. He sounds even a bit angry when he says that. You're right, but there is the other way out. Would you rather stay in this place? I let out a long sigh in that moment, before rubbing my forehead with frustration. What else can we do? We are at the dead end. You're right, but we have no other choice. I forced those words out of my mouth. Roy looks away, appearing to be heartbroken. Long seconds pass in silence. We both are waiting for the other to say something, but there was simply not more to say. We had no choice but to force ourselves to take our only chance. I know. He finally said, looking back at my eye. I'm afraid of the monster, but I don't like being alone, nor I like knowing that I'll drown if I keep waiting. I don't before placing a hand on his shoulder to comfort him. Don't think like that. We have to think we can do it. But it is impossible. It's hard, but not impossible. I managed to escape from the monster twice. I was thinking saying more, make it clear as Raiden got lucky, but before that Royer jumped surprised. Really? That's incredible. You must be pretty strong then. He looks at me with his eyes shining with hope so much I feel bad for what I'm going to say next. Not really, I was just lucky. But even then I could confirm that the monster is not invincible. If we make a plan, I'm sure we can scare it away long enough to activate the signal and escape. When I say that, I try to sound as serious and convincing as possible. It's hard, considering I myself don't believe my own words. Oh, exclaimed Royer, before looking down, disappointed. I can say it didn't hurt me to see that, but I say nothing. There is little I could say to make it better and not to be a lie. Then I shake my head, getting rid of the heavy anxiety in my shoulders. Anyway, we should go. The sooner we do it, the less time doubt will torture us. Roy looks up and blinks, looking at my eyes confused. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure I don't have a shift today, so I can continue recording without any worries. Yeah. What's my simple answer? I want to say more, but no other word appears in my mind. Or mouth. There is nothing sweet to say. The only thing I have is my determination. Roy thinks for a second, but in the end simply nods. Then the dog seems he still doubts but doesn't want to say it. After that, we quietly leave the bridge. Do you know where the communication room is? Yes, he does. He already told you. Yeah, follow me. It's not far, but we'll have to go down to the flooded deck. Shit. I can't say I'm happy to hear that, but I follow him without complaint. As we walk in silence, I feel the ship slightly tilt to the side. Just when you focus all of your attention, you can feel it, just like the sound of the storm outside. The storm has lasted for a long time. I said at the same time I scratched my head just to break the ice. Being so quiet is uncomfortable. It has lasted for days without end. We've been trapped on it for as long as I can remember. Roy doesn't even look at me when he says that. He continues walking as if it was completely natural thing to talk about an eternal storm. Days won't end, huh? Are you sure it isn't just one storm after the other? No, I'm sure it's the same one. All the problems of the ship started with it, a storm that up until now hasn't stopped hitting us. After saying that, Royer stops and turns to look me in the eyes. He explained and tilts his head. But we had no other choice than accepting it. He explained and tilts his head. What the hell? Royer blinks as he waits for me to say something with curiosity. Understood. I said, forcing my mind to imagine it. After a brief pause, we continue walking, moving in silence across the long hallway. When did the monster appear? I suddenly ask. When I say those words, we suddenly stop moving. Roger thinks about it for a moment before talking. I don't remember. I only know one day it appeared. At first it was just rumors among the sailors, more worried about fixing the holes in the ship. But more and more people began to say they saw it each day until the evidence began to appear, like broken pipes and doors, with marks of claws and bites. After saying that, he goes quiet, as if waiting for something to happen. Second passed with no change, not walking or saying a single word. And then, I finally asked, impatient. After that, I don't know what happened. I can't remember waking up completely alone. Everyone had disappeared except for the monster. And when I tried going for the lifeboats, he appeared and got in my way. That's why I hid. Royer sounds. I know how to describe it. It isn't just sadness, there is also some regret in him. His heart feels heavy knowing he was abandoned, and it is not hard to understand it. He doesn't know how many days have passed, but judging from what he said, it sounds like at least a few months. Maybe it could be even longer time. We are trapped in a ship with a monster and surrounded by an eternal storm. What makes think it couldn't have been even years? Anyway, I shake my head to clear my mind. I see. Well, for now we should focus on activating the rescue signal. Royer nods and then resumes walking. The more we walk, the more I expect for the monster to appear, but it never does. I don't know why, but it makes me restless. It is the first room to right after going down the stairs. He explains at the same time he turns around to look me in the eyes. I blink confused, giving a quick look at the stairs. The level of the water seems higher here than in the other hallway. That or maybe it had risen while we were talking. As I think about it, I let out a long sigh, inhaling later to fill my lungs with air and arm myself with courage. Right, wait here while I activate the signal. Royer trembles as soon as he hears my words. Are you saying? Are you going to leave me alone? What if the monster appears? I made a confused face and burst after hearing him. Actually, I haven't thought about that. Letting him come with me is dangerous, but leaving him alone could also be. At least if we are together, we have each other to help us. To be honest, I think it's more about the fear of being left alone than the danger, but either way, it's a strong reason. Right, sorry. I stand embarrassed, with a shy smile on my face. On my face. Then I turn my side to the stairs, beholding the undisturbed cold water. I take a deep breath. Are you ready? Yeah. He answered with a bit of a worry. Okay then, let's not waste any more time. After seeing that, I start to slowly go down the stairs. I just stop for an instant when my feet touch the water. I'm not happy to dip again in the cold liquid. Then I continue shaking as I feel the water to go over my waist, until I finally touch the floor of the hallway. I stop to take a breath and then look back. It's even worse for Royer. The water reaches up to his neck, but at least it seems he can breathe without problems. Can you swim? I asked with curiosity. At the same time, I turned to look at him. Being like this, I doubt running is an option. Yeah, all the crew members can swim, don't worry about it. After saying that, I see him swim a couple of meters forward and back to my side. As one would expect, he's actually better at it than me. Okay, then let's keep moving. I said without second thoughts, going then to the communications room. Each step I move, my heart seems to harden more and more, until it reaches a point it turns to stone from the anxiety. I gulp, feeling my saliva bitter. I know what to expect, I only know it will be bad, very bad, but not exactly what. I hear the sound of the water getting disturbed as I try to not think about it. Here it is. Said Royer, looking at a metal door completely destroyed and, to make it worse, full with marks of claws and fangs all over. To be able to do something like that, the monster must be stronger than steel, which makes it many times stronger than me. What are you doing? Asked Royer, confused when he looks at me grabbing a piece of pipe between a pile of broken metals. It is about a meter long and looks pretty solid. I thought it would be nice to have a weapon. The first time I found the monster, I managed to scare him away, throwing a piece of pipe to the head. We don't have to defeat it, just drive away long enough to activate the signal and then escape. I talk as firm as possible, as if I knew what I was talking about, but Royer looks back at me with doubt. I understand. It's all he said before looking away. I sighed, slightly disappointed, but anyway, I'm not a good fighter, even less a hero to defeat a monster, and I know that very well. I'll go first. I started filling myself with courage. Royer simply nods. Then I slowly cross the broken door, carefully avoid getting cut with these scraps of metal. Then I blink, confused. Are you sure this is the monster's lair? It's not what I expected. I had in mind a place full of eggs, or at least some kind of slime that would make it look like the lair of an unknown monster. But it's absolutely clean. Actually, doesn't look at all that different from another room. Yeah, I'm sure it is always looking around this place, Royer explained, a bit annoyed at my incredulity. At least I know he's not lying. Imagine it is hiding. My heart races, anxious at the idea. Suddenly I hit the surface of the water many times to disturb it, wanting to see if I could make it come out. What are you doing? Roy asked, worried, looking at me confused. I stop, I look into his eyes. Sorry. I wanted to make noise to force it to come out in case it was hiding. Royer snorts, annoyed. Be careful, you could make it come here. If this is its lair, I think we can be sure it's around. It's better to at least know it won't catch us by surprise. I said, talking seriously, trying to justify my action. But I confess I wasn't feeling very smart when I did it. It was the fear controlling me more than anything. Yeah, I mean, why would you do that? Royer blinks and then looks away. Maybe you're right, but it looks like it isn't home. I look around after hearing him say that, finding nothing but calm water. My hands relax the grip on the pipe. It seems so. I murmured, still doubting it. Then I fixed my sight in a red button that was behind a case of glass, like those used to cover the fire alarms. Is that the button to set the rescue signal? Asked while looking deeply. Yeah, that is it. Royer speaks sure of his words. He doesn't look so scared now, but well, I guess the fact that the monster isn't here helps a lot with that. Okay, I'll press then we get out here. Royer nods, not saying a word. Then I quickly move towards the button. I had to take advantage of the monster being absent to end with this. I don't think in anything else but that complete my mission as I hold the tube with all my strength. If the room was dry, it would take me no more than a few seconds, but the water slows down my moves, forcing me to take longer than I wished. But it doesn't stop me. Soon I'm extending my hand to reach the button. About to touch it? The red of the button reflects in my eyes while my heart beats full of hope. I feel this is the first time since I got to the ship that I feel I can do it. This is the end. We are going to make it. But of course, it was all lies. Suddenly, all of my hopes are destroyed, broken pieces, so tiny they disappear from the world. I can't even think when I see the monster emerge from under the water, jumping like if it was a flying fish. By pure instinct, I swing my hands. It seems like I'm trying to hit it with the pipe, but that's not true. I was thinking, just move my hands, and I just happen to have a weapon in them. It is then that I hear a cut, followed by the sound of something hitting the water. I let my hands sink with a pale face, and the eyes open wide as I tremble in fear, still shocked from the impression how the pipe I had taken as weapon was now just half of it. In time it takes to blink, just an instant, it had been cut. And the worst was that it was my intention. If it wasn't because I reacted out of fear, my head would be the one missing half of it. At least now it confirms I think I was right when I thought it could be a trap. Sometimes I had been right. I hear Royer yell frightened behind me. At the same time he disturbs the water surprised. I think he's saying something but I can't understand it. I'm so afraid I forgot my own language. The only thing I can hear are moans in fear that push my already excited heart to beat even faster. I gulp, breathing just barely enough to not faint. I can move, not even a single muscle, with the exception of my impulse to close my eyes. Right now the monster is behind my back. I for an attack that in a second destroy me. However, it takes too long. I know if it was a couple of seconds or more, but time remained mobile, waiting petrified for my end feels too long. What is he waiting? Is he mocking me? Then I see the monster swim at incredible speed like a fish, getting between the button and me. Cluck, cluck, cluck! It rubs its claws, sending chills to my spine with that sound. At that moment I was convinced it was for sure toying with me. It could be, but instead just ruins my plans. It is not a natural instinct, something like that has a name, that is pure malice. I feel my soul get so cold it freezes. Anxiety cracks me from the inside, making me tremble as I feel an overpowering nausea. Cluck, cluck, cluck. That sound again, I hate it. Without knowing it, I started to attribute it with misery. Having no control of it, I begin feeling it was a mistake to come here. Regret invades me, filling with a bitter sensation. Desperate, I hold tight to the only thing I have, not even remembering what it was, just that it was a solid and in my hand. Then suddenly there is a spark in my mind. Of course, the piece of pipe! I remember what happened the first time I threw it to it. The pain seemed to be enough to make it go away. I'm not very confident in my accuracy, but if I managed to hit it, I'm sure it would... Whoa. What is that? What is going on? My train of thought is axed before I can finish it. My mind was turned upside down when I see something change in the monster. That's what I was saying was my advantage. Grrrr. The creature growls while it stares at me with a big red eye right in the center of its head. Well, fuck me. That is the first time I see it. No. It's not like it was simply hiding it. I haven't seen it before because it didn't exist. Didn't manage to evolve in the short time after we met each other. It's nothing but insane. The water is getting higher, exclaimed suddenly Royer, seeing how the level of the water was growing. At this pace, but whatever, it would take just a couple of hours before the room got completely underwater. Enough time to escape, but that means that if we do it there, won't be a second chance. There is no we will come back tomorrow. I feel curious, however I don't turn back to look at him. All of my attention was fixed in the monster that stared back at me. Only I know it wasn't afraid, it was enjoying it. It has to be. Otherwise it wouldn't work so hard to make me miserable. At that moment I realized something. There is another feeling growing inside me, so big that it quickly processed the very fear leaving it behind. It was hopelessness. The only thing bigger than my fear was the sensation that everything I do is useless. That I can't do anything to escape from my fate of going down with the ship. No matter how much I fight, no matter how much I think about it, how many times I tried or how much I want it. The monster would always be there to ruin my plans. I think calling the monster is right, in all the meanings of the word. I look down for an instant. Cluck, cluck, cluck! The sound of his clothes makes an echo in my heart, tearing it. I'm doubting. I don't want to go back, but what can I do? Throw the pipe. Okay, this time it won't. Let's try. I think about it one last time, forcing myself to make a choice. In front of me, there were two horrible options: escaping, dying when the ship sinks, or trying to find it and knowing it was useless. That's right, the last one has the slightest chance of success. Between two, that made it the best. But I'm not the type of person who expects much from luck. For that reason, I don't like the games of chance or bets. More than luck, it was my effort what pushed me forward. Studying for my exams, doing my homework, practicing. That's why I don't feel good making that choice. Just throwing it and praying for the best. Definitely doesn't sound good. I'm blinking for the first time in what felt like an eternity. For the first time, my mind parts from the monster. I'm still looking at it, but my attention is elsewhere. Is there no third choice? Who said there were only two? Why do they have to be it? Maybe there is something else I'm ignoring. If I escape, I'll only delay the inevitable, and if I fight, I'll fail miserable. The sink is sinking, and the monster is much stronger than I. Then what can I do? I think about it with every fiber of my being, until suddenly the most simple thing gives me the answer. I hear the sound of a drop falling to the water. I instantly turn my head in the direction, seeing later another drop fall. I blink with curiosity. What are you doing? We have to go! The monster will eat us! Royer yells desperate, something very appropriate for the moment. However, I don't move. Instead, I keep looking to what was above me. Astonished, I stare at the lamp above my head, as if I had never seen one in my life. And with that image, one idea is born in my mind. I feel a spark in my brain that lights up an uncontrollable fire. Suddenly I hold the pipe with all my strength, all of it, and without a doubt I throw it to the lamp closer to the monster. The lamps are long, so it is impossible to fail even with my bad timing. I see the pipe fly in the air, feeling my heart beat full of excitement. It's not fear, but enthusiasm. At last something came to my mind, the third choice I ignored before. The monster has an eye. If I attack, it will simply defend itself unlike the first time. But he just got it. That means it's not used to the weakness of having it. In the blink of an eye, the pipe hits the lamp, breaking it in a flash of light, and spark that covers all the room for an instant with an intense white light. Grrrr! Groans the monster in pain. Its eye had never seen such a bright light. He desperately tries to cover its face, but that doesn't save it from the punch I land on it. Eyes are very vulnerable. Having one so big in the center of your head is dangerous. It varies in pain, jumping into the water and swimming away at full speed. I don't even see it escape. My attention was fixed in something else. Then, without even thinking, I do on the only thing missing. I press the rescue button with all I have, feeling the adrenaline rush through all of my body. At that moment, I hear the alarm activate. At the same time, red lights appear. Mission accomplished. Royer. I called his name when I turned to look at him. Let's go out of here before the monster returns. Royer doesn't answer. He's astonished and believe what he just saw. Before his eyes, something impossible just happened. We won. Royer. I say again at the same time. I hold his hand. I would carry him back if needed, but thankfully he snaps out of it. Yeah, let's go. Without saying more, we go back the same way we came, except this time, it feels incredibly short, unlike before. We go up the stairs and stop to take a breath. I fill my lungs with air and then exhale from my mouth. I still can't believe it. My brain burns from the excitement and my heart beats proud of myself. The ship is still sinking, but it will take time. Before that, help will arrive. We are saved. Now we only have to wait in a secure place. Although I feel the monster won't bother us again. Looking back, it seems impossible. Was that really me? It seems more it was someone else who happens to look like me. You're incredible! You're incredible! He said soundly while looking in my eyes. I can't do more than tremble from the impression. The eyes he has now almost shine full of joy. You really are! You are a hero! You defeated the monster! Okay, you are overreacting. I just scared it away. I said embarrassed, but it would be a lie to say I wasn't proud of myself. No, you really are! He then added, so excited that my heart jumps. Ah, well, thanks, was my dumb answer as I scratched my head embarrassed. Anyway, we should return to the bridge and wait for the rescue to come. Yeah, let's go. In the most couple of days, the rescue ship could come. Seems he has a better idea on how the signal works. A couple of days isn't really that much time. After all, the ship has been sinking for what seems months, so a few more days would be nothing. I see Royer cheerfully smile. He looks so happy. That image warms my heart. That is the last thing I see before my vision becomes blurry. A little more each second until I can't see anything. Huh. Dream 2. There is a girl sitting in the garden. A girl who hates her name. She hugs her knees while looking at the front, to the nothingness, lost in her thoughts as if that was the most fascinating thing that could exist. Since when did she start to feel like that? To appreciate the loneliness that surrounded her? She herself doesn't know, but seems like it had been like that forever. There are other kids nearby, playing, laughing, but she never felt any desire to join them. They look so distant, or better said, no, they are very different. Just playing isn't enough for her. The joy would quickly fade away once the game finished, being replaced by an even worse feeling of loneliness. She just can't understand them. They got over so easily, make friends so easily, feel so easily. How can that be? For her it is hard. Every feeling of happiness is a chance to feel sadness once it ends. Every friendship is a promise of loneliness once they move away. That's why she prefers none of them. She yearns to find a happiness that is born from herself, from her own thoughts and heart, without the need of anyone else. There is something wonderful in that, in knowing that no one would ever let you down, that you would never be alone because all that you need is in yourself. Thinking is beautiful, observing and learning. New things also are. Without a doubt, there is something fascinating in the world that we never pay attention to because we consider it mundane. For her, each day is a box full of mysteries, or at least tries to see it like that. As long as there are questions to answer and things to get passionate about, she would never be alone. However, all of this world would end falling apart. I exclaimed at the same time, I opened my eyes. Then rubbed my forehead and looked around. I'm back to the orphanage. More precisely, looks like I'm in the dining room. There are many plates in the table waiting to be used. There is also silverware, napkins and glasses, as if in just a few minutes the children were going to eat. I looked at them in silence for a few seconds before deciding to continue exploring. The dining room is connected to the kitchen. Here there is an oven, a fridge and a sink. They still seem to work and ever even clean as if just yesterday had been in use. By pure curiosity, I tried to turn on the oven. I am not hungry and there is nothing to cook, I just did it to verify if it was working. I'd run out of gas. I said quietly, talking to myself, seeing that nothing happens. And then I opened the fridge, not knowing what I'd find. Within the frames my eyes see it is empty. Not a single thing inside, not even dust of leftovers. Curiously, when I open it, I feel colder caress my skin, but the fridge isn't turned on. I continue exploring. I open the cupboard, used to keep the plates, and there I discover a sheet of paper. I then close my eyes and sigh frustrated. There is nothing helpful there. All of this is a complete waste of time. I have nothing special. At least nothing that justifies a magical experience like this. I open my eyes and look at the paper. To be honest, there is simply an important detail I'm ignoring. I forgot to check if there was something on the other side. Wasting no time, I turned it. Just like imagine, there was a message there, written with purple pen. The writing is different from the one at the front page, so I can be sure someone else wrote it, at least without a doubt. You have gone far, Gary. I knew you could make it. Well, it's not like you have a lot of room to fail either. If you need to die, or rather I should say, find a bad end to become a person capable of fulfilling his promise, then don't worry, you have my permission to die. That sounds so silly, I apologize, I'm laughing while writing this. You are a smart person, as I'm sure you should know by now that there is more to me than just my role as the villain of the story. Everything that happens tonight has a purpose, keep that in mind. Now, if you think that is fair or unfair, we won't know until we reach the end. Now, just to show that I'm not so evil, I'll give you a clue. Do you know what lucid dreams are? They are dreams where you are conscious while dreaming. That means you have full control of your thoughts and actions while sleeping, and know that everything around you is not real and will disappear once you wake up. How would you not know that? Now, another question, Gary. What is real and what isn't? Most people don't take a single second of their time to question something like that. Reality seems so clear and distant from dreams like day and night. However, I know you aren't like that. Of course not. You are the kind of person who could talk about this subject for hours. Now that's not true. Reality is, at least in my own words, everything we can feel. What we perceive, touch, see, smell, hear, imagine, everything that surrounds us is our reality. But then, if you were trapped inside dreams so vivid you couldn't tell apart from being awake, would that make it real? There is an old Sumerian myth that tells about the god who created the world while sleeping, where nothing but shadows inside the god's dream. For us, it is real, we never doubted of it, but for him it is only a transient dream. Maybe all of this is real for you, but to me it's only a dream. I'm the sleeping god who created the world without realizing. It's not insane to think about it like that, because dreams are not tied to logic. You can dream you are a superhero, or that you die and revive as many times as you. So casually it becomes funny, or even that you are many people at the same time. After all, haven't you been seeing all sorts of unexplainable things? Maybe you're just a character in the script I'm writing. Or maybe not. And this is all lies with the purpose of wasting your time. Thanks. Anyway, I said a lot, but what is the clue? What you are seeing tonight is as real as you want it to be. Alice. Pass. I'm waiting for you in the fairy's castle. I feel a chill run down my spine. I don't even know what to think. My mind is completely blank. I didn't expect such a long and complicated message. I blink confused and then suddenly a bunch of ideas hit my mind. There are so many my head hurts while I hear each one of them, as if there was an endless line of people waiting to tell me something. This is no surprise. I'm trying to make sense to what Alice said. I may trap inside her dream, or maybe all of this is just a nightmare and in the real world I'm just sleeping in my bed. Tomorrow when the sun comes out I'll be forgotten like the rest of my dreams in my life. It is impossible for me to know. In the end, I sigh and rub my forehead, taking a couple of seconds to empty my mind. The only thing I can do is keep on moving. With that in mind, I look back at the paper. I see it one last time before putting back where I found it. Why don't you take it? Just take it! I enter back to the door. There is no reason for me to stay in the kitchen. I still have a third world to explore. I exclaim, confused, noticing one thing. The door of the dining room was closed from the inside. Seems they didn't want the kids to enter the kitchen without permission. Something logical. They could steal the food, or even worse, get hurt with the things here. Anyway, wasting no more time, I have the dining room and walk back to the main room. It just takes me a few seconds to be there again. just like the time before. The door I had just opened is now blocked by boards. Also, there are lock of the pads. Wait, also other of the lock pads of the fourth door had broken. Just one more to be able to cross it. Probably. But what is there on the other side? I blink while looking deeply, trying to imagine it. If it is a door to another world like the other ones, then why is it locked? It's not because they don't want me to cross it, otherwise the lock pads wouldn't break like that. It's more like they don't want me to open before crossing the other doors. Wow, what a logic. I remain immobile and in complete silence until suddenly I shake to the very core. I had to come up with an answer. It is the very way back. Said my lips with full security about it. What else could it be? That explains why I'm not allowed to cross it until the end. For a second I feel so excited I could jump. But then close my eyes and take a breath trying to relax. Even now it is too soon to get that excited. I still have one last place to visit. Then I fix my sight in the last open door. My heart beats nervous, knowing what I would find on the other side, but being so close I can doubt. That it's time to actually choose the other option and end the episode here. Haha. Okay, for now, hope you enjoyed. I really do hope to see you tomorrow as well, where we will continue the story. Until then, bye bye.